Looking for a little peace and quiet? Didn't think so.
Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
What's going on?
Producers of James Bond, Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, are going to step back. They're handing the franchise over to Amazon. And
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call the death gargle. The foulest taste in your mouth. Now, I don't blame that poor Sky newsreader for breaking that news. He's just doing his job. But honestly, when I heard this news a few moments ago, the breaking story and the pun is going around, folks, it's left the industry shaken and definitely very stirred. In case you don't know the news, folks, Amazon have full creative control of 007, James Bond. And at this stage, with the massive success Amazon have had with Lord of the Rings.
Writers on this show is that they have given every woman on the show, every female character, such agency. We don't serve the men around us. We have a storyline in our own right.
Time will only tell what damage they're going to do to my guy, Bond. James Bond.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Jack Burton. Me.
They hunted him down. They murdered his friends. And they took the only thing he would kill for.
You know this guy?
Yeah, but I'm not proud of it.
If it's a mission no man can survive, he's the man for the job.
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Fuck you, asshole.
So watch out for him and his babes of the 1980s. Hail to the Jason King, baby.
It's all in the reflexes.
So here we are at the website of Variety, and the James Bond shocker. Amazon MGM gains creative control of 007 franchise as producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, who is a stepbrother, have now stepped away. So in this article, the shock announcement, yes, it is. I would say it being shocking is a bit of an understatement, but as per details of the historic agreement, Amazon MGM Studios, Wilson and Broccoli have formed a new joint venture to house the James Bond IP rights. The three parties will remain co-owners of the iconic franchise, but Amazon MGM will have creative control. So remember when George Lucas signed over Star Wars to Disney and he didn't have any creative control, not even as a consultant? And what did Kathleen Kennedy do? Delete the past canon history of his beloved Star Wars to make way for, oh yes, that's right, the Force is female bullshit. We've got that. Remember when Disney bought Marvel in 2009? I was sat there in my chair thinking, this is a really, really bad idea. Watch the early MCU movies when they were under Paramount. They were absolutely fantastic. They had a certain look to them, a certain tone. Everything was great about those. And when Disney came along, all right, fair enough. Things like The Winter Soldier were fantastic, but imagine if it was still made under Paramount, how that could have been. Since its theatrical introduction over 60 years ago, James Bond has been one of the most iconic characters in filmed entertainment, said Mike Hopkins of Prime Video and Amazon MGM Studios. That's a real mouthful now. We are grateful to the late Albert R. Broccoli, who had nothing to do with this by the way, and Harry Saltzman for bringing James Bond to movie theaters around the world, and to Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli for their unyielding dedication and their roles in continuing the legacy of the franchise that is cherished by legions of fans worldwide. We are honored to continue this treasured heritage and look forward to ushering in the next phase of the legendary 007 for audiences around the world.
Oh, spare me this sentimental rubbish.
Now, I understand that Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, well, he's in his 80s now, so why would he carry on being a film producer? But then again, Marty Scorsese is around the same age there or so, and he's still making movies, so what's stopping him? But I get it, Michael G. Wilson isn't Martin Scorsese. So, what I get from this, and I tell you what, folks, I'm going to be very spiteful about this. This is all boilerplate stuff. I mean, Barbara Broccoli said, "My life has been dedicated to maintaining and building upon the extraordinary legacy that was handed to Michael and me by our father, producer Cubby Broccoli. I've had the honor of working closely with 4 of the tremendously talented, wonderful artists and the actors who played 007. With the conclusion of No Time to Die, which was dog shit by the way, and Michael retiring from films, I feel it's time to focus on my other projects." Now, what I think might be happening is that I think Barbara Broccoli will probably have and maybe Michael G. Wilson to a lesser extent, they might have consultative roles. But again, as the article has mentioned, it's going to be Amazon that has full creative control over Bond. And as somebody who's been a lifelong Bond fan, I mean, hell, even Arnold Schwarzenegger owed his success of his one-liners to 007. He said that's what actually made him want to be an action hero on the big screen. So what I'm going to say is this, folks. If you got your physical copies of 007, and I'm talking about these ones right here of my guy Timothy Dalton in 2 of the best films he ever made as 007, go and buy your physical copies now, DVD or Blu-ray, because I guarantee you, once MGM start re-releasing these beloved movies, they're going to put a warning at each and every single one, a disclaimer about the attitudes of the time and how it doesn't reflect on Amazon as a company, which is bullshit because we know what Amazon are like already. And I'm really curious to see what kind of control that they will have over the character, what it means for beloved characters like Q or Moneypenny, anybody else. I mean, if you wanted a black James Bond, you're probably going to get him in due course. And I'm going to make a bet right now, they're going to cast Shooty Gatwa in the lead role. So if nothing works out for Shooty in Hollywood, where after Doctor Who, he's wandering around for his next paycheck, I think they're going to give it to him. Of course, I am absolutely trolling, folks, but you never know these days. The things you say might actually come true. So I urge you all, if you thought about buying a collection of Bond, go and do it now, because I guarantee you, Amazon are going to truly fuck this franchise and that character right through the wazoo. And how do I feel about this? I'm pissed off. I absolutely am. Even my mum peeked her little head in the door earlier on today and she started going Bond, James Bond, and I thought, I know why she's telling me this. It's all the news that's been broken out, and I'm just not happy. I've got so many fond memories of Bond. The very first premiere I went to, well, I should say it was a national press screening. That was in 1995, 94. For GoldenEye, I was ushered in through a side door at the Odeon, Leicester Square at 10 o'clock in the morning, sat down with the press all over Great Britain, and when Pierce Brosnan said those immortal words,
"The name's Bond. James Bond."
we all cheered in the audience. An unforgettable experience that I've never quite reimagined or have that feeling of having again. It's just like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. I even bought my first Amiga watch as a result of watching that movie, and that was the Seamaster Quartz version. Don't have it anymore, sadly. I had to sell it off, but I might reclaim it one day. So rest in peace, 007. It was nice knowing you while it lasted, 60 plus years. And I think this is not the new beginning for Bond. It's going to be a brand new culture war amongst the fans and the diehards.
I guess it's a farewell to arms.
And if you were me, and if I were you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll definitely want to return for, like a 007, my next video.
Well, that's a neat trick.
The original action-adventure hero, James Bond.